Kenny Florian wouldn't be surprised if this was Georges St-Pierre's last fight. This past Saturday at UFC 217, Georges St-Pierre etched his already legendary name even farther into the history books when he became only the fourth man to win belts in two different UFC weight classes. St-Pierre won the middleweight title from Michael Bisping with a third-round submission, concluding an over-year-long process of getting St-Pierre back in the octagon. But now that the former welterweight kingpin has returned to claim another belt, what remains for St-Pierre to do? Not a lot. According to UFC commentator Kenny Florian, speaking recently on his Anik Florian podcast, Florian said that winning the middleweight title scratched the MMA itch for Georges St-Pierre, and now that he's done it, GSP might just walk away from the sport once again. I think for Georges, I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last fight. Does it get any better than this? What is he going to accomplish here that's going to elevate his status that much more? Does he need to defeat the 205-pound champion? Maybe fight Stipe Miocic? Those aren't realistic things. Even going up to 186, everybody doubted him. This is going to be too much. Michael Bisping has been more active. He's a bigger guy. I don't know if it gets better than this. I think there was something that Georges wanted to prove to himself. I really don't think, as much as Georges wanted to get what he felt he deserved, but I don't think it was necessarily about the money. This wasn't a Georges St-Pierre saying, "Man, my bank account is low, I really need to get some funds here." It wasn't about that. Georges is fine on money. I think more than anything else, he had something he needed to prove to himself. Being away for 4 years, I felt like he finished his career on top and wanted to come back and show everybody that in these days where USADA is kind of overlooking the sport, I want to come back and show what I can really do. At 170 pounds, he has already done it all. He wanted to do something different at 185 pounds and challenge himself. He did that against a phenomenal champion in Michael Bisping, and I think that this is probably his last fight. Much of the speculation surrounding St-Pierre's return has centered around what would happen if he managed to win the middleweight title. Rumors have run rampant that GSP would fight any number of opponents, such that St-Pierre had to affirm that if he won the title he would be contractually obligated to defend it against the #1 middleweight contender, in this case Robert Whittaker. But a fight with Whittaker, while meritorious, lacks the panache needed to peak St-Pierre's, now the de facto second biggest star in the UFC, interest. According to Florian, GSP is now in the stage of his career where defending against challengers doesn't do much to help build his final legacy. At this point, Florian posits, the only fight big enough to be worthy of St-Pierre, also happens to be one that lacks in fight drama, a battle with the biggest star in the sport, Conor McGregor. Can he fight? Absolutely. He proved it. This is still a Georges St-Pierre who can do it all and do it all at a very high level. He's one of the best competitors I've seen in all of professional sports, and if he wants to continue to fight, I think he can beat Robert Whittaker. I think there's a fight against Tyron Woodley if he wanted to. Obviously, there's that Conor McGregor guy who might make things interesting, but I know for Georges he doesn't really want to go down in weight too much. He feels like he's already done it all at 170 pounds, and he did it in an age where the welterweight division was just ridiculous. And I think going down against 155 pounds, I don't know if he really feels Conor McGregor is a challenge, to be honest. Going against a much smaller guy and having the takedown skills that he has. He's gone against a lot of other great strikers in his career, and I don't think Conor McGregor is going to be big enough or has the wrestling prowess to stop the takedowns of a Georges St-Pierre. St-Pierre's endgame in returning to fighting has long been rumored to be chasing the biggest super fight in UFC history against McGregor. St-Pierre denies this, and UFC President Dana White insists the middleweight champion will face Whittaker next. But with all the options available to him at this moment, St-Pierre is taking it easy and enjoying the best night of my career.